Kreifel straight drop back, looking at Elon. Oh, he has time. Going to the end zone for Ken Holland. Touchdown, Mustangs! Flanker brings in the play to Bill Dooley. He gives it to his troops, and they bring it up to the line. Eyes over the defense, ducks in under the center, double tight end flanker on the left side, out of the wishbone backfield. The option play, runner on the right side. Dooley's going to keep it, and he is going to pay. Dead to rights in the backfield. Dave Wooster, Paul Wilson, and Bob Furneaux racked him up there. Gain of about maybe 1 on the play if he squirms through, depending on where they mark the ball.
Now the Mustang offense, when they come out, they have to show that they can do something. I'd look to Tyrone Brown and, of course, Reggie Thigpen to do most of the work today. But the Mustang offense needs to take advantage of what the defense set up.
So the punter for the Eagles is going to come on. He's going to be punting from his own 20. Back deep for the Mustangs, Hosian and Brown. The kick gets away, and Tony Hosian's going to take it. Fair catch. He's going to get the ball at the 44-yard line. Shane Kreifel and the rest of the Mustangs will be working from there. There's a flag down on the play.
The Mustangs hit the kicker, so they should be back to Leyden, I believe. If a ball hits the ground, then the kicker's free game, and that's what I think Coach Mash is arguing.
My eyes took off with the ball. It didn't look like they were really bearing down on him that much, and maybe did a little bit of an acting job, but it drew the flag.
What the Mustang coaches are arguing is that the ball did hit the ground because it looked like a scoop, and once that happens, then the Mustang defenders can run into the kicker in order to try to block it. But obviously it went the other way, and it's Leyden's ball on their own 49-yard line.
Now this is an interesting call. After the roughing the kicker, Leyden gets the ball 1st and 10 at midfield. Dooley ducks in under the center, double tight end out of the wishbone. The leader in the wishbone is Walsh. Behind him is Ziegler and Webb. Give goes to Walsh, running right up the middle. He's going to be stacked up there. No gain on the play. Mustang defense bearing down. Dave Wooster and Terry Shaw led the charge for the Mustangs.
Tackled by a host of Mustang tacklers.
The officials are going to give him 3 yards on the play. He was stacked up at the line, and it looks like they squirted through somehow. So 2nd and 6 for the Eagles. Ball at the Mustang 48-yard line. They're in enemy territory. Double tight end out of the wishbone again. On the option play, going to the left side, fumble. The tailback fumbles it, and the Mustangs are there to cover him up. He's going to be dropped for a loss. 12-yard loss on the play. They're going to put the ball at the 40-yard line. Rich Niersbach and Tony Hosian were there to make sure he didn't get up and make a gain out of it.
That is the risk you run when you run the option play, is that the pitch might not be there and the running back might not be able to handle it.
The timing's got to be good between the quarterback and the running back.
And that's exactly what happened. The pitch wasn't quite there, and then the running back had to go recover the fumble.
3rd and 18. Ball on the Leyden 41-yard line after the fumble play. Double tight end wishbone once again. Officials are going to throw a flag. It looked like someone lined up in the neutral zone. I believe it was number 79 for the Mustangs, Dave Wooster. Yeah, that's what it was, lined up in the neutral zone. They march the ball off. Now the ball is going to be put at the 46-yard line. So now it's a 3rd and 12 situation.
And still no wide receivers line up.
Double tight end, it's a passing down, and they still have the wishbone in the backfield. Give goes to the fullback, running right up the middle, breaks it to the left side, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. Bob Furneaux shags him down on the left side. And he's going to be close to a 1st down. Breaks it past midfield and into Mustang territory. They're going to put the ball at the Mustang 42-yard line.
Could be a 4th and 1. And with this field position, Leyden might decide to go for it.
4th and inches with the kind of power that the Eagles have up front on their line. They do have a big line. And in the backfield, it looks like they might make it.
They will punt, and the Mustangs do drop 2 players back to receive it.
They do bring on their punting unit. Tyrone Brown and Tony Hogan standing at their own 5-yard line. The punt is away, and it's a fairly good kick. Hogan's going to let the Eagles down at the Mustang 10-yard line. Mustang offense is going to get a first shot at it from there. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. We're still scoreless. First and 10 for the Mustangs. This is the first time they got their hands on the ball.
The difference that penalty made, we've been saying all year that the Mustangs really haven't gotten the breaks, and that penalty pushed them back maybe another 20 yards, and they're going to have to start around their own 10-yard line.
You know, I talked to some Mustang defensive players, and they said the thing they wanted to do was get on and off the field quick. 3 downs and out, 3 downs and out, and they haven't established that so far. Kreifel brings it up the line. Receivers on each side. Ken Holland goes in motion from right to left. Out of the I formation, Fulco and Thigpen. Give goes to Fulco, running right up the middle, breaks 1 tackle out to the outside. Barrels his way through where he's hammered down at the 15-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. They're going to call it 2nd and 6.
There really are no stars on the Leyden defense. They use a lot of gang tackling, and a lot of people come in and make the hits when they do come in for the play.
2nd and 6 from the 15. Shane Kreifel and company. 2 receivers draped on each side, Holland and Dawson. Holland goes in motion out of the I formation once again. Fulco and Thigpen. Pitch goes to Thigpen, runner on the left side. He finds his way behind Fulco to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more where he hammered down there. Number 10 was the man that made the initial hit for the Eagles. That was Mike Giamursti. He's also playing tight end on offense. He's going both ways today.
There are about 4 or 5 players that will be going both ways for Leyden. They feel that they're going to put their best players on the field, and if some of them have to go both ways, well, that's just what they're going to go with.
Tony Hogan's going to come in at the flanker position, and Ken Holland checks out. So it's going to be Hogan and Dawson deployed on the left side. 3rd and 7 from the 13. Fulco and Thigpen. Hogan goes in motion from left to right. Kreifel using a long count, straight drop back, looking to deal, looking to Hogan. He finds him across the middle, and Tony Hogan breaks it across the 26. He's going to be dropped at the 27-yard line. Good heads-up runner on that play. We've seen the Mustangs make a big gain out of that in the last game that we announced. Hogan did that. Quick slant and quick drop back from Kreifel. Find Hogan across the middle and pick up a first down out of it. 1st and 10 from the 26. Hogan jogs off. A job well done, and Ken Holland comes back on. Holland on the right side. Doug Alwyn, the tight end, on the right side. Scott Dawson, receiver, on the left side. Holland goes in motion from right to left out of the I formation. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. He has Dawson on the right side, and he's going to be hammered down there at the 35-yard line.
Leyden is a little weaker at covering the pass. They're very strong against the run, but it's their defensive backs that the Mustangs might pick on a whole lot this game. So you might see a lot of more passes from Shane Kreifel.
Made by number 9.
Kreifel teams up with Dawson to get about 9 on the play. 2nd and 1 from the 35. You think they'll call on Frank Fulco? A little over 5 minutes left to go in the first period of play. Still scoreless. 2nd and 1 from the Mustangs 35. Shane Kreifel gives to Reggie Thigpen behind Fulco. Finds his way into the secondary, and he's going to be hammered back from there.
That's what we said. They're very good against the run, and it's going to be tough for the Mustangs to get a lot of yards running straight into that defense.
He got a first down. They're going to say his forward progress was stopped past the marker. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line.
The Mustangs, if they do decide to run, might be more successful going to the outside with the sweeps and the counter plays, but right up the middle, the Leyden defense is very tough.
1st and 10 for Shane Kreifel and company. Ken Holland on the right side. Scott Dawson on the left. Tight end on the right is Doug Alwyn. Give goes to Fulco, running off the left side. Breaks 1 tackle. Tries to get out to the outside where he's going to be wrapped up at the 42-yard line. Fulco hammering his way to the backfield was ripped down by number 21, Paul Ziegler, who's also going both ways today.
Leyden just stuffs the middle. They have like 3 or 4 guys right in tight, and they just block off the middle. That time, Fulco bounced outside, and as we said, that's probably where they're going to get their best runs in today.
Fulco's looking good, 5 yards a pop. 2nd and 5 from the 42. Kreifel brings him up to the line. Double tight end ducks in under the center. Split backfield. Ken Holland, the only receiver, draped on the right side. Kreifel broadcasts the cadence. Give goes to Fulco, running up the middle. He's going to be wrapped up there. Number 70 met him at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Monroe. He's a defensive captain. It's hard to tell. Every time I look up, I want to say there's a flag down on the play. The Eagles' colors are blue and gold, and a lot of them are wearing yellow shoes. So it looks like there's flags down there. but that's just their crazy way to dress, I guess. 3rd and 5 from the 43. Still scoreless. Kreifel brings it up to the line. Give goes to Thigpen, and he's racked up in the backfield on the right side. Number 40 on the tackle.
The Mustangs continue to run up the middle, and they're getting stopped. I suggest that they go outside, otherwise Leyden's going to have a great day up the middle.
Steve Hall on the tackle. Thigpen was running behind Fulco. Fulco took on one man, but there was another one there to find his way into the backfield. Bill Sorensen comes on to punt from his own 30. Back deep is going to be Webb and Walsh. Sorensen gets this one away, and it is a good one. It's going to be taken by Walsh on the left side. He's going to be wrapped up there. Tony Hojian and Doug Alwyn. Good special teams job. Started on each side of the field on opposite sides. Met at the guy with the ball. Nice play and no return. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of the Eagles. Bill Dooley's going to be working for there. What do you think of the Mustangs offense so far?
Not bad. They're working well. It's just they have to vary their plays and go to the air. The defensive backs for Leyden don't look that good, and it looks like the Mustangs could do real well with the pass today.
1st and 10 from the 22. Bill Dooley and company brings it up to the line. Double tight end, wishbone backfield once again. Dooley rolls right. He's looking to deal. He has some time. Has his fullback, and he's hammered down by Bob Furneaux. A punishing tackle. Felt that one all the way up here.
Tackled immediately by Bob Furneaux.
Their wide receivers didn't look to have much speed, and then he threw it to the tight end. So when Leyden does pass, it looks like they might be going for the short 5-6 yard pass.
Gain of 5 on the play as the fullback just went right through the line and ran about a 5-yard out, and Furneaux was there to meet him to make sure he didn't get any more. 2nd and 5 from the Eagles 28. Dooley brings it up to line. Receivers draped on each side. Out of the wishbone once again. Give goes to the fullback up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Breaks it out to the outside. And Bill Sorensen is there, going to be there to rip him down. It looks like he stopped him at the line of scrimmage. Bounced off the interior of the line and went to the left side. And Sorensen, the free safety, was there to pick him up.
The defense looks good today. They're hitting real hard, and they're all around the ball, and they're all moving well. Earlier in the year, they didn't use that gang tackling, and all of a sudden the Mustangs have found it, and they're playing extremely well on defense.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 5 from the Eagle 28. Dooley brings up the line. Double tight end wishbone once again. Dooley rolls left, looking to deal. Pressure's on by Uglowski and Worcester, and he has his fullback through the hands, in and out of the hands. Uglowski had him dead to rights in the backfield, and Dooley just tossed it over his head somehow. I don't know how he got a hand free, but it was an incomplete pass. So it's going to be 4th and 5 from their 28. The punting unit comes on. Tyrone Brown and Tony Hojian are going to be sent back to their own 40 to return this one. Mustang defense looking tough here.
They haven't let Leyden establish the running game, which is their strong point. They've shut it down, and they've played well.
John Webb punting from his own 20-yard line. He gets this one off, and it's going to be taken by Tyrone Brown. He fumbles it. There's a misdirection. It's picked up by number 70. He has some room. Breaks it to the left side. The 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Leyden.
Touchdown by number 70.
Mustangs having trouble with their special teams all day. All season so far. 4 games. They haven't really established anything. Tyrone Brown maybe should have let that one bounce. Not on the field, can't tell. But that one hit the ground about 15 yards in front of where he was originally standing, so he had to sprint up to get it. He dove to get it right through his hands, and it bounced right into the stomach of number 70, who got the touchdown. Jeff Monroe, defensive captain.
And he moved.
Now there's no flag on the play, but the officials are marking the ball back to where Tyrone Brown fumbled it, so this could be a big break for the Mustangs. The scoreboard says 6, but I think the officials will say otherwise. Mustang defense still on the field. The offense isn't even assembled on the sideline.
I really have no idea what this penalty is. There was no penalty flag thrown.
What?
It's going to be a timeout Eagles, but the official just signaled that it was a first down for the Eagles with the ball at midfield. Now that's where Tyrone Brown fumbled it, give or take a few yards. The only thing I can think of say that maybe he did have it in his possession and he was down and then fumbled the ball, but I don't see how they could say that from up here. It didn't look anything like that, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They got the ball at midfield. They only got 15 yards to go. And the Mustang defense is going to have to crunch down. That's a strange play. Minute 17 left to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Punt was recovered by Leyden. A muff punt cannot be advanced. So Leyden takes over possession, 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line.
You heard it from the stadium announcer. It's going to be called a muffed punt, which cannot be advanced. So, as we said, midfield, Dooley's going to get another crack at it.
Big break for the Mustangs. That's a big break because Leyden had quick 6, and as we mentioned, this is going to be a low-scoring game. And with that first touchdown, that could have put Leyden way up early.
Leyden isn't really moving the ball on this Mustangs. When they tried to pass, the Mustangs have had someone in Dooley's face all day so far. And if you notice, all the first down they've gotten have been on penalties. And as we said, this play with the muff punt, so
Leyden just hasn't established a running game.
Isn't really producing. Nevertheless, 1st and 10 from midfield. Dooley brings it up to the line. Double tight end out of the wishbone once again. Give goes to the fullback running right up the middle. He's going to be stacked up there. Paul plows his way through for about 3 or 4 yards. Niersbach and Dave Worcester were there finally to stop his forward progress. 2nd and 6 from the 48-yard line. Dooley brings it up to the line, sends his flanker number 10 to the right side, Mike Giamercy. Usually plays tight end. He's a flanker on the right side out of the wishbone. The option play on the left side. Dooley's going to keep it, and he's going to have to pay for it. Irv Lusk and Dave Worcester were there. Worcester is all over the field for the Mustangs. That junior nose guard, number 79, filled in for Joe Rossi a couple of games ago, and he's really established himself. No gain on the play, still 3rd and 5. From the 46-yard line.
Leyden just can't get anything going on the ground. That's what their strong point is. Dooley doesn't throw a whole lot, and they rely on the run, and it just hasn't worked. The Mustangs have shut him down.
Now, they ran an option to the right side, and Mustangs did a good job. They had a cornerback cover the option man, and a defensive end cover the quarterback. Nothing to do. 3rd and 5 from the 46. There's a flag down on the play. It's going to be delay of game.
With 1 second remaining here in the first period.
So they're going to march the ball back 5 yards. It's going to go back into the Eagle territory. It's going to be put at the 49, almost the 50-yard line. 3rd and 10 from there. They have 1 second left to go in the first quarter of play. Still scoreless. And the Mustang defense have been on field most of this quarter.
The defense has done the job for the Mustangs. They've shut down Leyden. Now it's the offense. All year really hasn't been able to score a whole lot. They need to come through.
So Dooley brings it up to the line. Double tight end sends a flanker to the left side out of that wishbone once again. Dooley straight drop back looking to deal. Pressure's on. He gets it away though. That was Irv Luss bearing down on him, the defensive end from the right side, and he just got that wounded duck away. It wasn't in the neighborhood of anyone. The closest man there was number 31, Kevin Walsh, but the coverage went to Bob Furneaux, and there was no way they could make a play out of that one. At the end of 1 quarter of play, still scoreless, and it looks like the Eagles are going to be punting. The teams switch sides, and Eagles are going to be working from right to left. Mustangs the opposite, as their defense is still on the field, and we see the punting unit come on for the Eagles.
Both coaches are on the field for both teams. Someone might have called a timeout here.
Ball's at midfield. It's going to be a 4th and 10 situation for the Eagles. Dooley's having some trouble when he tries to go upstairs in the air, and Mustangs, their defensive ends are making sure that he's contained in that backfield there. I talked to Mr. Mash during the week, and he said that he likes to roll out. He's a mobile quarterback, and that's pretty much how they make their big plays in the air. So the Mustang says it's going to be a big day for their junior ends, who are Paul Wilson and Irv Luss. So far, they pretty much stand up to that task. We'll see what happens as the game goes on. Ball at midfield.
The Mustangs want to force Leyden to pass because that's not their strong point. They like to run. That's their strong point. And if the Mustangs can get them out of their game plan, that's just a plus for them.
Kevin Walsh is going to punt for the Eagles. He take this one from the 40-yard line. He gets away. This is a beautiful kick. And Hosian's going to let it sail over his head into the end zone. Touchback. Ball's going to be put at the 20-yard line. Shank Rifle and Company are working from there.
So we've seen 2 good punts by both these kickers from both teams. Both teams have very good kickers.
So coming into the second period of play, we're scoreless. Mustangs working from their own 20-yard line, seeing if they could get the ball downfield. Shane Kreifel brings his troops up to the line. Dawson on the left, Ken Holland on the right. Holland is the Mustangs' leading receiver so far with 137 aerial yards. And the give goes to Thigpen, running behind Fulco out of the I formation. Thigpen busts his way through the line of scrimmage on the right side for about a yard or two. He's ripped down by number 70, Jeff Monroe. Mustangs are signaling in their plays by way of substitution. Scott Dawson, wide receiver, comes out, and they're going to bring in another tight end. Scott Yenerick is the weak side tight end. Doug Allen strong side out of the I formation. Fulco and Thigpen the tailback. Ken Holland is the lone receiver on the left side. Give goes to Thigpen running up the left side. Hits the line of scrimmage and nothing there. Dead to rights in the backfield. 55 nailed him behind the line of scrimmage. Jim Mascara.
Mustangs keep running right up the middle, and that's exactly where the strength of the Leyden defense is. They've shut it down almost every play so far. The Mustangs had success through the air, and they need to go back to that.
Third and 7. Mustangs have the ball on their own 22-yard line. And Kreifel brings up the line. Scott Dawson's back in the ballgame. He's in the slot on the right side. Ken Holland goes in motion from right to left. Doug Allen tight end on the left. I formation, Fulco and Thigpen. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal, looking to the left side. Rainbows, Ken Holland, and he has him there. Holland with a beautiful move, breaks it out to the 30-yard line. And it's going to be a first down for the Mustangs. Holland was originally caught up at the 25-yard line, put a little move on that defensive end who was out there, and just stuck that ball out and got the first down. Good heads-up play. You don't usually see that from a junior. You know that you found something special in Ken Holland.
Key to that is that Shane Kreifel, on the 3 pass plays they've thrown, has had time to throw. The Mustang offensive line has not given Kreifel any problem. He's given him all day to throw.
First and 10 from the 31-yard line. Give goes to Thigpen, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. He's going to be dropped for a loss in the backfield. 55, Jim Mascara there again to meet him. And the defensive captain, number 70, Jeff Monroe. He's a defensive tackle. Thigpen is having a rough day in that middle.
They have to start running outside because the Leyden defense has just shut everything down. They've run up the middle. Even with Fulco, they've shut him down pretty much.
You know, 9:42 in, winding down, 2nd and 10 from the 31. Kreifel brings up to line. Hosian is in at the slot on the right side. Give goes to Hosian, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Hosian came in motion from left to right, and now he's talking to the defense. Tony Hosian has a few kind words. Hosian's used to playing defense. You can do that stuff on defense. You can point, you can have guys pull at your jersey, you can do all that stuff. Now he's on offense. He's got to keep his head. He's not used to that kind of stuff.
The Leyden defense has shut down everybody running, and the Mustangs continue to do that. They have to start going to the air, and it's obvious just to see that Leyden's got a very strong rushing team to stop.
After Hosian's gain of 1, 39 from the 32, Kreifel straight drop back. He has some time looking to deal, fires down the middle, and he has Scott Dawson. Beautiful catch at midfield, gets to the 45-yard line. After it was bobbled between 2 defensive backs, Scott Dawson was there to make a beautiful catch and a first down on the play.
That's what I said. They need to go to the air. Dawson, Holland, they all have good hands, and that's exactly what the Mustangs need to do. Shane has come out throwing real well today, and the passing game is what's going to do it today for the Mustangs.
Kreifel kind of looks like Jim McMahon, doesn't he? Have his sleeves tucked under the
got him rolled up today.
Kind of looks like an offensive lineman. He's running that thing out there, calls a timeout now. Wants to talk to Coach McDonald, the offensive coordinator. Mustangs use up their first timeout. That was a good play from Scott Dawson. Ran a good route, and Kreifel threw a great ball there right between 2 receivers. It hit Dawson. It looked like it was bobbled, kind of playing pinball with it between 2 receivers. Dawson came down with it, broke it to the right side where he's dropped at the 46. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from there. Mustangs definitely on the prowl. They break it into enemy territory on that play. 8:41 left to go in the first half.
Now, they've completed, I believe, every pass he's thrown today, and the Mustangs have to continue it, and they got to go with it right now. If they try to run, the momentum is with the Mustangs right now. If they try to run and Leyden stops them, then that's just going to lose the momentum they just gained. They have to go with their weakness, and their defensive backfield, Leyden just doesn't look like they can stick up with their receivers.
That's why I like the Mustangs in the air. I think Shane should go upstairs a little more and see what he can get out of it. I mean, he's throwing well. His receivers are running good routes, and they're making gains after they get the ball. I mean, every plus is in the passing category. Is when you know that Frank Fulco can't even get too much right up the middle, then you're in trouble. They do have a strong defensive line. As we said, their defensive captain, he's a tackle, Jeff Monroe. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, so he's a big one in that. He can put a load in that middle, and it's tough to run on him.
He's built solid, and he's the one who ran back that muffed fumble by Tyrone Brown, and he has speed, and he can get all over that offensive line.
1st and 10 in enemy territory from the Eagle 46-yard line. Mustangs have it there out of the I formation. Tyrone Brown in motion from left to right. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. Pumps once, rolls out, tries to buy some time on the sideline, finds Doug Owen on the right side, and Owen comes down with it there.
Good play by Kreifel. He looked downfield for Tyrone Brown. He wasn't open. He pump faked and threw it back to Doug Owen for a good completion.
That defensive end, number 77, and the cornerback, number 21, wanted to make a pretzel out of Doug Owen here. They wrapped him up. I don't think I've seen anything like that lately. But Owen jumps up after that, gain of 9 on the play. Looked like he had the first down.
And they're moving downfield going with the pass, and that's exactly what they need to do today.
2nd and 1 from the 37. Receivers deployed on each side. Give goes to Thigpen, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Now, you notice he was running behind the blocking of Frank Fulco, and Fulco hit that defensive tackle. Tackle squirted in the backfield. Fulco ran into him and didn't gain any. I mean, Fulco couldn't move the guy, and Thigpen ran right into Fulco, so there was nothing to do there. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball on the 35.
The defensive line is staying down low, and that's exactly why they're being so successful. They don't stand up, they stay low, and obviously they're very strong because they're stopping some people who usually run over people.
They're going to bring out the chains for a measurement. And it looks like they got it. Yep, 1st and 10 Mustangs from the Eagle 35-yard line. So they have been dominating this drive. There's no question about that. You know, the Eagles secondary, the defensive backs, they look quick. They look like they can move, and they got good speed, but not until after a Mustang receiver catches the ball.
It doesn't look like their coverage is there. That's the only thing missing. And the Mustangs have been doing that real well, picking them apart and playing real well. 1st
down and 10 for Shane Kreifel and company from the Eagle 35. Hosian and Dawson, receivers on the right side from right to left. Goes in motion is Tony Hosian out of the I formation, Fulco and Thigpen. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. He has Tony Hosian, breaks it to the left side, 20, 25, and he's going to be escorted to the chalk barriers right there. Number 11 on the play. That was Phil Dooley. He's the quarterback.
Tackle made by number 81.
Had an appearance in the secondary on that play. Hosian just took a step past the line. It was a little hitch pass, and Kreifel got it to him beautifully. And Hosian evaded a tackler, picked up a 1st down, 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Gain of 12 on the play. Good running by Tony Hosian.
That's a play you might see more often because, as we said, Leyden stacks everybody inside, and there's not a whole lot of people outside. And Tony almost broke it by breaking 1 tackle.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the Eagle 23-yard line. Ken Holland goes in motion from left to right, double tight end. Thigpen, the tailback behind Fulco. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. The pressure's on. He rainbows into the end zone. Ken Holland, touchdown Mustangs! Ken Holland just ran a post corner from the left side. He cut it outside and then into the end zone, wide open between 2 defenders. One guy was in the corner. The other guy was about at the 5-yard line. Kreifel just laid it up there beautifully. It looked like they were playing in the backyard somewhere, and Holland with good hands comes down with it.
That's exactly what the Mustangs have just realized. They see that they can pass. They see that the run's not working, and that's exactly what they have to do to be successful today.
Ken Holland, the Mustangs' leading receiver. He has 137 aerial yards coming into today. That's his 3rd reception so far. And he put some points on the board for the Mustangs. Fulco for the conversion, splits the uprights, and it's good.
Wide right, I believe. He kicked that into a strong wind. The wind has picked up. It's got to be going about 10, 15 miles an hour now. And he kicked it straight in, and it just veered off to the right.
That can quiet down a radio announcer. That looked like it was going right through there.
But nevertheless, the Mustangs jumped on board first, and that's exactly what they needed to do, because this is going to be a low-scoring game, most likely. And when the Mustangs get the first score, they usually hang on to these games.
6-0 Mustangs on top. You can feel that confidence with Shane Greifel down there. I can't imagine anyone else running that Mustang squad today. And he's doing a good job with it. It looks like the weakness for the Eagles is their secondary. So Shane's going to...
I thought he's thrown well all year, and I was surprised that the Mustangs didn't use him more in the passing situations, because he's thrown well. A lot of his receivers early in the year dropped his passes when they were on. And it looks like Shane's found himself. The receivers are hanging on, and it looks like the Mustangs might have a great offense working for him today.
Shane Greifel and the Mustangs receivers, they were definitely hungry coming into this game. They haven't established the air attack they wanted to, so they just got to be licking their chops looking at this secondary. Rich Niersbach kicking for the Mustangs from left to right, and he gets all of this one. Return starts at the 20 by number 21. They form a wedgie, breaks up the middle, breaks it to the outside, breaks one tackle, ripped down by number 45, Irv Lusk. And after that, I don't know, I saw nothing but green in front of him. It looked like he was going to go the distance down to the Mustangs end zone. But Irv Lusk barreled through the wedge and ripped him down at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for Dooley and the Eagles from there.
That's one thing Coach Mass said he still was a little worried about, is that the Mustangs do give up the big play every once in a while, and that's hurt them early in the season. He feels if they can cut out the big play by the other team, they'll do all right.
Officials start the clock, and Dooley brings it up to the line. Out of the wishbone, double tight end once again. Dooley ducks in under the center. Give goes to the fullback, running right off the right tackle, and not too much there, maybe a yard or two. Mark Iglowski, Terry Shaw, and Rich Niersbach were there to stop him.
Number 31, Kevin Walsh, the ball carrier.
This is very important for the Mustang defense to stop them here and get the ball back to the offense. The offense is hot, and once they get going, they can score some points. And that's exactly what the Mustangs need to do, is stop them here and give that ball back to the offense.
Now, that was Kevin Walsh, the ball carrier, in the fullback spot. Usually he plays one of the tailbacks, but he was in the fullback position. On the option play to the right side, Dooley is dead to rights in the backfield. Kip Henley and Irv Lusk were there to stop him. Mustangs are doing great against the option play when they run out to each side, the option play, because out of the wishbone, that's tough. I mean, you got 3 good running backs in there, so they can hit you either way for it, but the Mustangs are doing a good job with one man going onto the option man, the other man sticking on the quarterback. Nothing there for the Eagles. 3rd and 6, ball on their own 33-yard line out of the wishbone once again. Tight ends deployed on each side. Give goes to the tailback, running around the right side, breaks one tackle, spinning on the left side, breaks it to the 36-yard line, gain of about 3 on the play. Bob Furneaux and Bill Sorensen were there. Paul Wilson was the man that made the initial hit that slowed him down. Looking at a 4th and 6 situation, 4th and 2 situation for the Eagles, and there is an Eagle down on the play.
For the most part, even though Leyden runs out of the wishbone offense, they basically, most of their plays have gone to Bill Dooley and number 31, Kevin Walsh. They've used those two with most of the running plays, and it looks like the other two are just basically blockers and decoys, and the Mustangs so far haven't been fooled. They've gone right with Dooley and Walsh and stopped them.
The injured Eagle that's walking off with the help of the Leyden trainers is Jim Webb, number 22, the man in the backfield. 6.5 minutes left to go in the first half of play. South on top 6-0 thanks to Shane Greifel and company. And Ken Holland was the one that got the touchdown. 4th and 3. The Eagles are looking at that situation. They're going to bring on a punter. Bill Sorensen and Tony Hoshin drop back to return this one. They're going to be standing at their own 20-yard line. Leyden punter's going to be punting from the 30. He gets this one up, and it's a high punt. Sails out of bounds at the 20-yard line, maybe the 19. Mustangs are going to be working from there.
Ball looks like it'll be placed about the 30-yard line.
Kevin Walsh's punt goes out of bounds at the Mustangs 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Mustangs.
Ball is going to be spotted out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Mustang coaches are unhappy with the officials, but I suppose that's all part of the game. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with the ball on their own 31. Greifel brings it up to the line. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Give goes to Fulco, running right up the middle, and he finds a hole and breaks it into the secondary, and he's thrown back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that left side.
Initial hit for Leyden was by number 55, Jim Maraska.
Jim Maraska was the one that made the initial hit, coming from the linebacker spot. Just a reminder, this game is a presentation of WDGC Sports. It also will be broadcast tape delay on television. That's right, Downers Grove Cable, channel G20, depending on your cable unit, this Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. 2nd and 8 from the 33-yard line. Receivers deployed on each side. Pitch goes to Thigpen, running behind Fulco, and he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Loses on the play.
Reggie Thigpen, the ball carrier.
It just looks like the Leyden defense is set for the run, and anything the Mustangs run has been stopped.
He's going to lose about a yard on the play. 3rd and 9 from the 33.
The last drive, the Mustangs had their best success going to the air, and I think they need to go back to that and work on it throughout the game. The secondary for Leyden didn't look like they could stick with the Mustang receivers, and the Mustangs on this drive have gone away from that.
Tyrone Brown comes out. Ken Holland checks in, the junior flanker on the right side, double tight end. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. The blitz is coming. He feels the pressure, unloads the right side, looking for Dawson, and it's going to be picked off by the Eagles. Coverage on the play went to number 21, Paul Ziegler. He was on Dawson like a glove. He just got in front of him. The pass was a little low. Dawson, even if no one was out there, would have had to stop to catch the ball. Kreifel didn't really lead Dawson probably as much as he wanted to, because he had no one behind him. That would have been 6. But it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles with the ball on their own 41-yard line. 4 minutes and 40 seconds winding down left in the first half of play. Dooley and the Eagles working from there. 1st and 10 from the 41, going left to right. Eagles backed up in their own territory out of the wishbone. Tight end on the right side, flanker on the left. Dooley straight drop back, looking to deal. He has some time. Fires down the middle. Number 10 in a crowd of traffic. He comes down with it.
That looked like it went right through Bill Sorensen's hands, right into their receiver's hands.
That was a gain of about 40 yards on the play. The ball's going to be put at the 28-yard line of the Mustangs. And talk about reducing a deficit. He just popped them inside enemy territory. Ball's on the 28, as we said. That was Bill Dooley hooking up with number 10, Mike Giamarski, who was coming from the tight end position. Now, he was covered good on the play. It was a beautiful pass, and maybe it could have been picked off by Bill Sorensen in and out of his hands. 1st and 10 from the 28 out of the wishbone. Option play on the left side. They find a fullback, and nothing there. Bill Sorensen and Rich Niersbach escort him to the chalk barriers on the right side.
Mustangs would love to go into halftime with the lead. They have to get tough here on defense and stop Leyden and force them to turn the ball over back to the Mustangs.
That was number 24, the ball carrier, Joe Harris, who was in for the injured Jim Webb, who went down earlier. Haven't received a report on that injury. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half, winding down 6-zip. Mustangs on top, 2nd and 7 from the Mustangs' 25-yard line. The Eagles are working from there. Pitch goes to number 1 in the backfield. Looks like he wants to throw. He's going to keep it. Terry Shaw and Mike Dadich make him eat it. Thrown out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Number 7, Mike Dadich.
Officials are going to put the ball at the 28. Dadich and Shaw didn't give him anything. The receiver looked like he was open for a while inside the Mustang 5-yard line, and then Bill Sorensen, the free safety, picked him up.
The Mustang defense has played tough the whole game. They've not allowed Leyden to set up that running game yet.
3rd and 9, 3 minutes left to go in the first half of play. Ball on the 27, give goes to the fullback. He's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 2 on the play. The Mustang interior stops him there.
Initial hit for the Mustangs was number 65, Mark Uglowski. We have a timeout. Leyden.
Eagles call a timeout. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first half of play.
This game again is Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Check that. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on channel G20. It's Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
Mustang defense, it looks like they're getting a little bit tired. They've been on the field a lot, except for that one long drive for the Mustangs where they scored. They were on the field a lot. And looks like it's starting to take their toll on them as the Eagles are marching downfield.
It'll be 4th and 7 for Leyden, and the Mustangs need to get tough here, and they need to stop them. This is maybe one of the biggest plays in the game so far for the Mustangs.
You know, speaking of the Mustangs, Rich Niersbach and Mike Dadish, they're getting great play out of their linebackers, as well as the junior, Dave Worster, that came in to fill the nose guard spot. He's been close to awesome the past couple of games that we had a chance to see him, and he's established that in this game. Mustangs doing a lot of substitution with their defensive end. Their starters were juniors Irv Lusk and Paul Wilson. Now, Coach Belskis, the defensive coordinator, has a lot of depth there. And he can go with Mike Hahn, who plays weak side end sometimes, or we saw Dan Leach come in, and also seen Dvorak play end sometimes. So they have a lot of things they can do with their defensive ends, but yet they choose to go with those juniors. So that tells you a little bit about the confidence this team has in those juniors. 4th and 7 from the 25, and the Eagles are going for it. They figure if we're going to score in this half, we got to do it now. Double tight end out of the wishbone on the quick slant. Dooley's looking to deal. He fires for the end zone. Coverage goes to Tony Ocean. Stride for stride with him. There was nothing there. They were looking for number 10, Mike Jaworski. Coverage was beautiful by Tony Ocean. Looked like a shadow, didn't he?
The defense has turned it around since those first few games at the beginning of the year. They're playing with so much more confidence. They know the system, and they're playing so well. And in the Mustangs, this is their strong point. And then the defense has done the job basically all year.
You notice that the Eagle offense did move the ball on them on a big play, but when you get inside the Mustangs 20, they turn to cement. You can't move the ball on them. And we saw that there. They held the Eagles, and they give the ball to Kreifel with 2 minutes and 45 seconds. They got a 1st and 10 situation from their own 25-yard line. Kreifel brings it up to the line, sends Doug Alwyn to the left side, the tight end on the left side. Ken Howlands, the flanker, on the left. And Dawson is on the right side of the I formation. Fulco, the fullback, and Thigpen, the tailback. Give goes to Fulco up the middle. Barrels his way through the line, picks up maybe a yard on the play. Brought down by the Eagle right side of the line. Number 77 was the original hit. Chris Scott. After Fulco's gain of 1 on the play clock, winding down, 2 minutes left to go. 2nd and 9 from the Mustang 26. Kreifel brings up to the line. Quick count. He's looking for Scott Dawson, dragging across the middle, and he has him. Dawson breaks it out to the 45-yard line. 1st down, and Dawson has proved to be a deep threat. He's something you got to watch for.
Except for the 1 interception, Kreifel's hit his receivers all day. Looks like the Mustangs can gain a whole lot of yards in one crack just by going to the air.
Kreifel brings up to line 1st and 10 from their own 44, and they're knocking on the territorial door. Rolls left looking to deal, and he has Sorensen, who was a newcomer into the offense, out of the tailback position. Sorensen breaks it past midfield. They're going to put the ball at the Eagle 46-yard line. Tackle on the play goes to Kevin Walsh, number 31, going both ways, as we said, and he has himself a nice pair of yellow shoes that are, I'm convinced they're wearing those just to confuse us. Sorensen picks up about 8 on the play. Sorensen jogs it off the field, and Reggie Thigpen checks back in. 2nd and 2. Ball on the Eagle 48-yard line. In motion from left to right is Tyrone Brown. Split backfield, Fulco and Thigpen. Give goes to Fulco on the draw right up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle and breaks it inside the 45-yard line. They're going to put the ball at the 43. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Mustangs. They move the chains, working from the Eagle 43-yard line now. 1 minute and 40 left to go, and I like Shane a lot in this ball game so far.
He's moving them right up and down the field.
Doug Alwyn is the tight end on the strong side. Ken Howland on the left side. Straight drop back looking to deal. Kreifel has some time and tries to find Alwyn, but I believe the pass was tipped. It was a little bit short. I believe it was tipped at the line by number 77, Chris Scott. Coverage on the play went to number 10, Mike Giamorski.
The Leyden defense just doesn't look like they're as fresh or lively as they were when they started the game. Looks like they realize the Mustangs can throw against them and that they're a little worried about it.
2nd and 10 from the Eagle 43-yard line. Kreifel brings up to line Dawson and Hosian deployed on each side. Straight drop back, Kreifel looking to deal. He has Dawson, and Dawson breaks it inside the 30-yard line. Clock is stopped with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to go. That's another first down. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 30.
In the second half, I think the Mustangs going to have to go to Dawson a whole lot more, because he hasn't allowed the defender from Leyden to stay with him at all today. He's been getting open, and he's been catching the passes that have been thrown to him.
Dawson and Holland, the 2 receivers for the Mustangs, teaming up, working on opposite sides and doing a fine job. Kreifel pumps once, drops back, looking to deal, and it's picked off by number 11, Bill Dooley, and he runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So that went right out of the hands of the Mustang quarterback and right into the hands of the Leyden quarterback. You know, that's a shame to see when you're marching down like that. I mean, the Mustangs started this drive at their own 20, if you remember. And they're moving the ball real quick, and then it gets picked off. You know, inside the Leyden 10-yard line, that's a tough break. But
it's good to see they're going to the air.
Mustangs have accomplished a lot, and we'll see what they can do when they come into the second half. A minute left to go, and the Eagles have the ball at their own 18-yard line. Mustang defense comes onto the field. 1st and 10 for Bill Dooley and company, working from his 18-yard line. Out of the wishbone once again, moves one back over to the left side on the slot, and they give it to him going around the reverse, and he's going to be stuffed by number 32, Paul Wilson, the junior defensive end. Now, if you notice, there was a pulling guard on the play. That was the guard, number 77, Chris Scott, that pulled, and Wilson had to attend with him there. He was messing around with him. As soon as that guy with the ball came, he threw his arm over the guard and ripped him down on the right side. That was a beautiful defensive play right there. No gain on the play. In fact, he's gonna drop him for a loss. It's gonna be put at the 17-yard line. 2nd and 12 for the Eagles. Under a minute left to go, and I like this Mustang defensive squad.
They just haven't allowed Leyden to establish anything on offense. They've kept them off guard. And the defensive line for the Mustangs has played great the whole game.
You know, in all the years that the Eagles have been playing the Mustangs, they have not been high-scoring games. 8-6, 12-6, 6-0. Not really high-scoring games, and I think that's a credit to the defense that the Mustangs have had lately. But it also tells you a little bit about this Leyden team. I mean, the past couple of years, the Mustangs were an offensive threat. They did run up a lot of touchdowns, 3 touchdowns a game, 4. That was pretty much a usual for the Mustangs. And this year, they're averaging 1 touchdown a game. And they haven't really established that, but it'd be good to see the Mustangs break that.
Leyden really hasn't gotten anything going since that 1 touchdown was called back against them. And it just looks like that took something away from them, and they haven't really got it back together yet.
2nd and 12 from the Eagles' 17-yard line. Out of the wishbone, Dooley fumbles the snap. He jumps on it. Terry Shaw jumps on him to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, and he's going to lose about a yard on the play. They're going to say he lost 2, so it's going to be 4th and 14 now. 3rd and 14 with the ball at their own 15-yard line.
Looks like the Mustangs will go into halftime, leading 6-0 over Leyden as we're under 30 seconds to play.
Double tight end for the Eagles. Out of the wishbone, they spread out the wishbone a little bit more. Give goes to the fullback, run right up the middle. Dadich, Niersbach, and Uglowski are there to put a hat on them.
Mustangs call a timeout.
Kevin Walsh, the ball carrier.
There's 8 seconds remaining here in the second period.
That didn't look too much like a comfortable situation to be in from up here. You got 3 of the Mustangs' hardest hitters bearing down on you. And now the Eagles are looking at a 4th and 10 situation, ball on their own 20-yard line. 8 seconds left to go in the first half, so the Mustangs are going to be thinking of preserving this lead going into halftime and starting this second half.
They've played well. I think that week off helped them. They needed to come out and hit somebody different besides their own players in practice. And as a player, you know that it's got to be discouraging not to have a game on a Saturday. And the Mustangs took that game off. They got the win because Proviso was not able to show up because there was a teacher strike. And I think the week helped them, and they look fresh and they're ready to play, and they're playing real well today.
Yeah, the Mustangs were pretty antsy. They were expected to play Proviso, which was another key matchup in the conference. And as we said, the situation was that the school district that Proviso was in went on strike, so they had to forfeit. The Mustangs came up with a victory automatically, and that just gets you antsy. I mean, you pretty much practice all week for them, and we knew that there was going to be a strike on Monday, so the Mustangs were practicing for Proviso, even though they might have played someone else in just a scrimmage game where both teams got the victory. So that's kind of tough on them. They had some extra time for these Eagles, and I think it shows. 8 seconds left to go in the first half. 4th and 9 from the 20. Dooley's just going to sit on the ball, get this agony over with, and get in there and see what we can do. Clock is stopped with 4 seconds left to go.
Mustangs take over possession, 1st and 10.
Mustangs will have one shot to put it in the end zone here.
There's a timeout. Leyden.
Leyden called a timeout, which is, there's nothing but confusion down there, and that's something I noticed the freshman game, the sophomore game, and here in this game, the officials they seemed kind of unsure about the happenings on the field. 4 seconds left to go in the first half. Dooley ate the ball. He sat on it, and it was a 4th and 9 situation. So the Mustangs get the ball at the Eagle 17-yard line. Beautiful field position. They only have time for one play. They're going to get it off, and then the Eagles call a timeout. So that's the situation as it stands here in Mustang Stadium. Mustangs are going to be able to get one play off. I remember a similar situation last year when the Mustangs were playing, I believe it was Glenbard East, and they had 1 second left to go in the first half from they were inside the 20-yard line. Matt Thompson dropped straight back and hit Tyrone Brown for a touchdown. It'd be nice to see that again, as Tyrone Brown does not have a touchdown yet so far this year. It's not out there, though. Ken Holland and Scott Dawson. The snap goes to Kreifel out of the shotgun. He's looking to deal for Ken Holland. He has his man in and out of his hands. Number 9 broke the play up. That was Chris Hemiluski. Coverage goes to him, and a good defensive play to prevent a score. So the Mustangs are going to go into halftime with a lead, 6-0. Mustangs offense looking good when they go up in the air. Thigpen and Foco haven't really established anything considerable on the ground, but Kreifel, Dawson, Holland, and Hosian look great in the air. So we'll see what their game plan is for the second half. That would be interesting to see. And I'd like to see what the Eagles try and do with their wishbone. See, maybe move a man in motion and try and go upstairs a little bit more. But we'll see what they can do. Why don't we turn it over to the studio for the remainder of halftime, and we'll be back for the second half of play.
Hey.
51, Trent Swartz. He gets under this one, and it's going to be a good one, taken by Hosian at the 5. They form a wedge. He breaks up to the 20, picks up a block, 25-30. He's ripped down just shy of the 30-yard line by number 1. Tackle goes to Chuck Fredrickson. So Shane Kreifel and company are going to be working from the 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
The Mustangs have to put together at least a couple first downs here. If they can do that, then it's established everything they need to, because they have to break down the Leyden defense that's been so strong against the run. If they can get a couple first downs and back them up into their own field position, the Mustangs, I think, should come out okay in this game.
Starting the second half, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Kreifel brings it up to line. One tight end, flanker Ken Holland and Scott Dawson on the right side. Holland goes from right to left in motion out of the I formation. Foco and Thigpen. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal. He has time, and he goes to Dawson. Dawson drilled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Nice throw there. It was right on the money. Dawson just stuck his hands out, and it stuck to him. Gain of about 11 on the play. They're going to move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 40.
I think that's the combination we're going to see a lot more of in this game. In the first half, I think Dawson caught 3 or 4 passes, and Shane's had him open, and Shane's hit him most part all day, and that's the combination that's going to work.
Reggie Thigpen comes out of tailback, and Bill Sorensen comes in. They give him the ball. He gets to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more. Dead to rights in the backfield. Number 77, Chris Scott, drilled him for a loss of about 3 on the play.
It doesn't matter who the Mustang's going to run up the middle. They're just not going to get anywhere doing that.
Their nose guard and their 2 tackles are extremely big, and they're extremely tough. So there's not going to be too much they can do there. 2nd and 11 with the ball on their own 40-yard line. Kreifel brings it up to the line, sends Tyrone Brown and Scott Dawson on the right side. Doug Alwyn is the weak side tight end of the I formation. Sorensen the tailback. Tyrone Brown in motion from right to left. Kreifel uses a long count, then gives to Sorensen on the draw on the left side. He breaks 1 tackle to the right side, finds the outside, and he's going to be drilled down on the chalk markers. On the right side of the field, breaks out to the 46-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. Sorensen originally started on the left side, saw a gap, and picked up a block by Joe Rossi, and made 6 out of it. Good running by Bill Sorensen.
That's the type of play they're going to need to run if they want to be successful using the run. Either that type of play or something to the outside is probably where they're going to get most of their yards rushing.
Sorensen comes out, and so does Tyrone Brown, and in checks Tony Hojan and Scott Dawson. Hojan and Dawson on the right side. Hojan goes in motion from right to left out of the I formation. Thigpen the tailback. Kreifel straight drop back, looking a deal, looking for Dawson, and it's over his head. Deflected by number 21 on the play. That was Paul Ziegler, and it almost ended up in the hands of Bill Dooley, who's the free safety, but he couldn't get over there in time. So it's going to be 4th and 5 for the Mustangs. Punting situation. Bill Sorensen comes on to punt. He's going to be working from his own 35-yard line. Back for the Eagles is number 21, Paul Ziegler, and Jim Webb is back there as well. They're standing on their own 20-yard line. Sorensen gets off a good one, taken at the 30 by Ziegler. He's going to be drilled down by Paul Wilson and company right there. Gain of about 1 on the play. Dennis Rudnick, who's an offensive lineman, also got down there to put a heavy head on him.
The defense has to come out and play tough right here. They can't allow Leyden any breaks early. They can't allow them to get some confidence. They shut them down. They hurt them in the first half. And if they can continue to do this right here in the second half, they should be real well for the second half.
9:53 left to go in the 3rd period of play. 1st and 10 for Bill Dooley and company, working from his own 31-yard line. Dooley brings it up to the line. Wishbone once again, double tight end, everyone in tight. Give goes to the fullback on the left side, breaks 1 tackle and into the secondary, where he's drilled down by Mike Dadich at his own 38-yard line.
Tackled by number 7, Mike Dadich.
Some substitutions on the part of the Eagles. They take out a fullback, and it looks like they bring in a receiver, number 83. He's a small one. Wally Spangola is 5'6", 150 pounds. 2nd and 6. They're working from the 36-yard line. Double tight end out of the I formation once again. Dooley rolls left, looking a deal. Mark Uglowski is there, and he's going to have to eat it. Dropped at the 25-yard line. Uglowski coming from that right tackle position. He just saw Dooley and said, he's mine. And Dooley had no choice. He had an open man, too, but he was there just too quick.
That's one thing we mentioned. If they go to the pass, they just don't look like they worked on it a whole lot. They don't look comfortable throwing, and the offensive line broke down for Leyden, and Mark Uglowski got in and sacked Dooley.
Loss of about 8 on the play. 3rd and 12. The ball's going to be put on the Eagle 26-yard line. Mustang defense getting pumped up. Up front for the Mustang, Worcester, Uglowski, Terry Shaw, Mike Dadich, and Irv Lust, putting a lot of pressure on Dooley when he goes to the air and pretty much controlling that run. 3rd and 12. Dooley brings it up to the line, working from his own 26. A receiver in the slot on the right side out of the wishbone once again. Pitch goes to the tailback, working on the right side. Bob Furneaux is there to stop him before he can hit the sidelines. Gain of about 2 or 3 on the play.
The Mustangs just aren't allowing Leyden to put anything together. They're messing up. They're in the right place, and Leyden just doesn't look like they're ready to play the Mustangs defense.
4th and 10 for the Eagles. They're working from their own 31-yard line. And the punting unit comes on as expected. Punting is going to be number 21, Paul Ziegler. He's working from his own 20-yard line. Back deep for the Mustangs, Hojan and Sorensen at their own 25. He gets his punt away, and it's going to be taken by Sorensen at the 30. They form a wedgie, breaks it to the right side, breaks 1 tackle right up the gut, right behind the blocking of Tony Hojan, and out to the 45-yard line. where he's ripped down by number 55, Mike Zarowska. Shane Kreifel is going to be working from there with his Mustangs. Boy, those yellow shoes look like flags out there, don't they?
They're kind of ugly.
Yeah, well, maybe they make them look faster, like they're running faster. I don't know. 1st and 10 from their own 44. Shane Kreifel and company. Ken Holland on the right side. Scott Dawson on the left. Doug Alwyn is a strong side tight end. Give goes a thick pen runner on the weak side. Gets a block from Fulco where he's stacked up on the left side of the line. Picks up about a yard or two on the play. They're going to call it 2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line. Some substitutions for the Mustangs. Dawson and Thigpen come out. Bill Sorensen comes in at the tailback spot. And Scott Yenerick at the tight end. Double tight end. Ken Holland is the only flanker on the right side. 2nd and 9. Pitch goes to Sorensen running behind Fulco. Gets his way through the line of scrimmage and spins into the secondary where he's drilled out of bounds and escorted to the chalk barriers by number 70, Jeff Monroe.
Tackled by number 11, Bill Dooley.
Sorensen picked up about 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 7 with the ball at the Mustang 48-yard line. Mustangs are knocking on the territorial door of the Eagles as they have some substitutions. Get the skill people back in. Reggie Thigpen and Scott Dawson. Bill Sorensen, Doug Alwyn, and Scott Yenerick are coming out. Tyrone Brown and Ken Holland, flankers on the right side. Scott Dawson on the left. Out of the I formation, Thigpen goes in motion out of the backfield to the right side. Give goes to Fulco on a draw, and there is nothing there.
Number 44, Frank Fulco, the ball carrier.
That play just didn't develop. The defensive line on the right side for the Eagles just swarmed all around Fulco. Leading the charge was number 51, Trent Swartz, who didn't start the game, but he's starting in the second half. 4th and 9 for the Mustangs from their own 46. Send in Sorensen to punt. Back for the Eagles is going to be number 83, Wally Spangola. Also back there, number 21, Jim Webb. Sorensen punting from his own 35, gets off a line drive taken by Webb at the 30. He's going to try and run it to the outside where Paul Wilson and Rich Niersbach are going to make him pay for it. Down just shy of the 30-yard line. Bill Dooley and the Eagles working from there.
Tackled by number 34, Tyrone Brown, and number 32, Paul Wilson for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 for Leyden.
5:36 left to go in the 3rd period of play. Leyden has the ball at their own 28-yard line, and they're staring at that Mustang defense that has been had a consistency somewhat of cement. You can't move the ball on them. 1st and 10. Dooley brings it up to the line. Wishbone once again. Wally Spangola is the receiver on the left side. Out of the Wishbone once again. The pitch goes to number 21. Chased down, and he's gunned down on the right side by Rich Niersbach and Bill Sorensen. Niersbach with great pursuit there. He's got quick feet. Found his way into the backfield and made number 21, Paul Ziegler, pay for that run.
The Mustangs,
loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12.
The defense just looks so good today against the run. Leyden just hasn't been able to put anything together, and Niersbach came through with a great play there, and it just looks like it's one guy after another now on the defense that's coming up with the big plays.
Niersbach is a rock, isn't he, in the middle of that Mustang linebacking core? 4 minutes and 45 seconds winding down in the 3rd, 2nd and 12 from the 26. On the option play, stuffed behind the line of scrimmage is Bill Dooley. He had no time even to turn it upfield. Irv Lusk was there to make him eat it.
Number 11.
Leyden just looks like they're out there not really knowing what they're doing because the Mustangs are coming all over and they're shutting everything down. They're running.
Loss of about 2 yards on the play. 3rd and 16 from their own 24-yard line. Not a good situation offensively for the Eagles.
Loss of 3 on the
Mustang defense holding tough. Not only are they holding tough, but they're dominating.
They haven't allowed much of anything all game.
Out of the wishbone once again, receiver deployed on the right side. Dooley straight drop back, looking to deal. Dave Worcester in pursuit. Worcester and Shaw make him eat it. Quarterback sack. Dave Worcester, the junior, coming from the nose guard position. Terry Shaw on the left side. That was a jailbreak. It looked like no one even touched him, and they were all over Dooley, and he had nothing to do, no way to go but down. Looks like they have more than 11 bodies out there, doesn't it?
It doesn't even look like Leyden knows what they're doing or where they're supposed to go, because they just look like they're out there going through the motions. They don't look like they have much of anything going for them at this point.
3 minutes and 33 winding down in this torture match in the 3rd period of play. Leyden on to punt from his own 5-yard line, and he gets off a high punt. Great hang time on that one, taken from the Mustang 40 by Tony Hojan. Calls for a fair catch.
Makes the fair
Hosian
catch.
looks like he could have made a return on that one. It looked like he had some lanes that were open. Well, that's how it looked from up here, of course.
But that was such a high punt. He just had, I figure he had to go with the fair catch, not knowing how fast everybody would get down.
45 yards.
That's a good college punt, and that was a great punt for a high school kicker.
38-yard line.
Doing the punting chores was number 31, Kevin Walsh, and he does have a boot on. 1st and 10 from the Mustangs, working from their own 39. Kreifel brings it up to the line. On the right side goes Ken Holland, double tight end. Mike Hahn, Doug Alwyn. Give goes to Thigpen, runner on the right side, breaks it past the linebacker, flips over to the left side where he's ripped down in the secondary, just shy of midfield. Number 70 on the tackle.
Tackled by number 2,
Jeff Monroe.
Krasinski.
That's probably the best run today by the Mustangs, and it looks like the defense is weakening. The offense didn't look like they had much for Leyden, and now the defense looks like they might be breaking.
That caught me off guard. Give one to Thigpen, running on the right side. He had a huge hole, hit the linebacking core. He ran into a couple people, then broke it out to the left side where he was ripped down there. 3rd and 3. Get a first down on the play at midfield. 1st and 10. Give goes to Thigpen again. He gets about 2 yards on the play where he's stuffed up in the middle of the line.
Number 10, Mike Giamoreski.
Monroe and DeMareski were there to stop him defensively for the Eagles. It's going to be about 2nd and 7 inside enemy territory from the Eagle 48. Shane Kreifel brings it up to the line. Ken Holland comes out. Tony Hosian comes in. Double tight end. Yenerick and Alwyn. Hosian is the flanker on the right side out of the I formation. Fulco and Thigpen the tailback. Kreifel with the long snap count. And Hosian jumped with a good acting job. A flag goes down on the play. They get the play off, and Thigpen is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
Reggie Thigpen, the ball carrier. Penalty marker down.
Even though the score is only 6-0 in favor of the Mustangs have dominated this game from basically the start of the game. And they're going to continue it, and I think they're going to come out with a good win here.
Coach Mash goes onto the field. He's a little bit upset with the flag. And the officials are going to disregard the flag. No penalty on the play, they say.
No penalty on the play.
Tony Hosian saying, man, I didn't jump. I'm used to playing defense. I want to get out here and hurt people.
He didn't go over the line, even though he did move. He didn't go over the line of scrimmage, which he can do, so it was no penalty.
Kind of looked like he was walking on a tightrope, didn't he? He took a couple-inch step forward, and then he just tried to balance over the line of scrimmage. Kind of like ballet, but
it worked.
He pulled it off, yeah. 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs from their own 48-yard line. Dawson and Hosian on the right side, double tight end. Kreifel straight drop back. Here comes the blitz. He's looking to deal. Buys some time, rolling out to the left. Tries to find Hosian. Passes just a little short. Kreifel felt the heat and had to dump it off quick. Hosian had to come out of his pattern and came across the middle. Dove for the ball, but it was just a little bit short. 1:42 and winding down. Left to go in the 3rd period of play. Mustangs on top 6-0, and they are dominating. Not so much on this drive, but the one where they scored in their defense is just, there's nowhere to go for these Eagles.
The Leyden defense has played well for the most part the whole game. It's just their offense hasn't been able to do a thing.
Sorensen punting from his 35, gets off a good one. End over end is going to be taken by Ziegler. He fumbles it in and out of the hands of another Eagle and into the hands of a Mustang. At the 29-yard line, number 21, Tony Hosian jumped on it. Johnny on the spot, the guy that's there always knows what's going on, and he's a quick one. Got down there real quick and jumped on the ball. I have a feeling if the Mustangs can score on this one, that's going to put it away for the Mustangs. That's going to be the play of the game.
We figured 2 touchdowns would win this game.
Tony's the kind of player, he can do anything. He can do it on defense. He can stay with the best of receivers. We've seen him see Garrett Lash, real quick receiver from Hinsdale. Tony was there stride for side, special teams and offense. He can do it all. 1:21 and winding down in the 3rd. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 28. Mustangs are knocking at the door. Double tight end, Holland goes in motion. Kreifel straight drop back, looking to deal, and oh, he has time. Going to the end zone for Ken Holland. Touchdown, Mustangs!
Ken Holland has a great pair of hands. What a catch.
Holland's only a junior, and he looks like he's been playing out there for a couple of years. Right in between 2 receivers, that ball was just beautifully thrown.
28-yard
Holland went in motion from right to left, running out from the left side. He had his man beat all the way. He had the free safety beat when he went back there. He got behind the free safety right in the end zone. Beautiful pass by Shane Kreifel, and good running by Ken Holland second touchdown for Holland and second touchdown for the Mustangs. 12-0, 1:08 left to go in the third. Folko comes on for the conversion. And that was all due to Tony Hojan, whose heads up special teams effort set that one up for the Mustangs. Mustangs are going for a 2-point conversion. Out of the wishbone, Kreifel rolls right, looking to deal. He's going to throw it up and over to Bob Furneaux, but he just ran out of real estate over there.
Bob Furneaux, incomplete. Penalty marker on the play. Holding against...
A flag down on the play. It's going to be against South. Official signals holding, and Leyden is going to cancel it. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and the Mustangs have a 12-0 lead, just about ready to get into the fourth quarter of play here. Mustangs are going to kick off again and get their defense on there. What do you think about that drive, John?
That was something else. One play, the defense now has to come onto the field, and they have to shut them down. If they can shut them down here, this is basically going to kill Leyden. Leyden needs to put something together now if they want to come back at all in this game, because we figured it would be a low-scoring game and 2 touchdowns would win it. The Mustangs have got both, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Tell you what I like, Tony Hojan, defense, offense, and special teams. He's doing a good job all around today. He can do it all, up and down the field. Definite force for the Mustangs and an asset for Coach Tim Nash. Rich Niersbach comes on to kick for the Mustangs, kicking left to right here in Mustang Stadium. Eagles men back deep are Ziegler and Webb. They're going to be working from their own 15-yard lines where they're backed up. Niersbach gets all this one end over end. It's going to be taken by Webb at the 20-yard line. He's going to try and find some blockers. Kip Henley and Mike Dadich make him pay for it. They're going to rack him up at around the 26, 27-yard line.
The special teams coming down have looked so good for the Mustangs at the beginning of the year. They were a little shaky, and considering the first play of the year went for a touchdown, Bennett took it all the way. Mustangs have come out on specialties looking a whole lot better.
You know, the Mustangs, as we were talking about some offensive statistics earlier, they only have 40 points in 4 games, averaging 10 points a game, and already here they have 12, and I'm sure they would like to get another touchdown. Tim Nash was saying they were looking for some 3-touchdown games, and this might be the one. Dooley and the rest of the Eagles bring it up to the line out of the wishbone once again. Receiver split on the right side. Dooley straight drop back looking to deal, trying to reduce this deficit. Looking for Webb, and it's over his hands. Coverage on the play went to the sophomore, weak side cornerback, Kip Henley.
Now the Mustangs look like they've forced Leyden into a passing game, and this is what they're not strong at. Their strong point is running, and if they get them into the passing situation, it's just like going to close the door on Leyden.
The final seconds of the third period of play, Mustangs on top 12-0, 2nd and 10 from the Eagles, backed up at their own 29-yard line. Looking at that tough Mustang defense, Dooley brings it up to the line, double tight end out of the wishbone, and once again in the backfield, Ziegler, Webb, and Walsh. Give goes to the fullback, Walsh. Going right up the middle, Mark Uglowski and Terry Shaw are there to make sure he doesn't get too much gain of about 2 on the play. They're going to give him 3. They call it 3rd and 7.
Down in 7.
Just a reminder that this game is a presentation of WDGC Sports being brought to you live, and later this week, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Cablevision in Downers Grove. It's going to be on channel G or 20, depending on your cable unit. 3rd and 7 for Dooley, straight drop back looking to deal. The rush is on, dumps it off to Walsh, dragging across the middle, where he's going to be racked up by Kip Henley and number 82 for the Mustangs, who just came in recently. That's Dan Leach, defensive end position.
Dan Leach, number 6.
So with 1 period of play left, the Mustangs up 12-0. They're looking good. They have to stay tough on defense. Otherwise, it looks like the Mustangs are going to go 4-2 overall and 4-0 in conference.
The Dooley-Walsh connection is good for 8 yards and a first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
At the Leyden North Cross Country Invitational.
With the ball at the Mustang 43-yard line.
Individually, Tom Quintana was 8th overall.
Let's take a look at the Mustangs and the rest of their schedule. As they said, they will be 4-0 if they win this in the conference, and they're in the driver's seat. Next week, the Mustang travels across the tracks to take on Downers Grove North, kind of like a crosstown classic type thing, and that is going to be the start of a tough rivalry. I don't know why they didn't have these 2 teams play each other earlier. I mean, that'd be just a great thing for the whole community, and this is the first year of it. You can catch it live on WDGC Sports. This Friday night game time is 8 o'clock. After that, the Mustangs come back home to take on Willowbrook, and I think Willowbrook has 1 win. So Mustangs will be favored in that game. We'll see what they can do with that. And then after that, they go off to end the season against the winless Morton squad. And I'm sure the Mustangs would like to take on a winless squad at the end of the season, going in the playoffs, get the momentum going as they did last year. Mustangs in the playoffs last year lost in the first round. But I'm sure a lot of these players that are seniors now, juniors last year, a lot of them started. I'm sure they don't want to have that happen to again, suffer the same fate. But let's contend with the matter at hand. We have 12 minutes left to go in this ball game, and the Mustangs are backed up at their own 44-yard line. Eagles have the ball, and they're putting together a pretty impressive drive. It looks like we'll see what they can do with it.
If the Mustangs do hang on and win this game, they do have 2 tough opponents right in a row coming up. Even though Willowbrook doesn't have a whole lot of wins, and they always give the Mustangs a tough time, though. They're a tough hitting team. They beat them last year, and it could be tough. And of course, Downers North will be up for this game.
1st and 10 from the 44. Dooley brings up the line, double tight end. Give goes to the tailback, running around the right side. He's going to be sacked up by Dadich, Furneaux, and Sorensen. Nothing there. Furneaux put a heavy hat on him.
It's just too many Mustangs. They're all around the ball. It doesn't look like the offensive line for Leyden today has come out really ready to play, because the defensive line for the Mustangs has shut them down all game.
The head coach for the Eagles, Len Janik, he just doesn't have enough bodies to block those Mustangs.
Mustangs are just in the right place at the right time today.
Mike Dadich comes in out of the linebacker spot, and in comes Dave Dvorak, and he is a big one. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles at their own 46-yard line. Dooley straight drop back, looking at Dooley. Has some time. Mark Uglowski putting pressure on him. Dooley's going to take it himself. Steps up out of the pocket, going to the left side. Wrapped up by Dave Dvorak. There's a flag down on the play, and it looks like holding. Looks like Rich Niersbach, the Mustang linebacker, was held on the play.
Tackle was made by number 56, Dave Dvorak.
Officials unpile the bodies, and they're going to assess the penalty. It appears to be against the Mustangs. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Mustangs. So they're going to march the ball downfield, past midfield now. The ball is going to be put, I believe, it's going to be dropped at the Mustangs' 33-yard line. So that's a tough break. Move the chains and move everything else, the team down to the other end of the field. That's pretty much a mental mistake. That'll hurt you. Stuff like that will come back and haunt you. Mustang defense dominating here, you know what I mean? They're just they're holding tough. They're beating up on this Eagles squad, and then something like that happens. The Eagles should get a touchdown. They're only down by 1 touchdown. Pretty much changes your whole game plan. Dooley looking on a quick slant to number 10, and he's got him on the right side. Hosian, Furneaux, and Sorensen are there to wrap him up. Looks like he gets about 13 on the play.
They're inside the 20-yard line now, and now the Mustang defense has to get tough. They're looking for a shutout, and they don't want Leyden to get back in this game since there is a lot of time left. There's a 10:45 remaining in the 4th period.
First down for Leyden.
Mustang linebacker Mike Dadich comes back in as Dave Dvorak checks out. The Eagles bring it up to line 1st and 10 from the Mustang 19, knocking on the door. And this is where the Mustangs got to hold him. Give goes to the fullback going up and over. And he gets about a yard or 2.
Chuck Fredericks in the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 79, Dave Worcester.
Now you notice Tony Hosian on the play. He's out there. He's doing some coverage. He's out on number 83. That's Wally Spangola. And he has some words with him. They get into a little pushing match. And Tony holds his own. I mean, he's your honor student and all that kind of stuff. You see him in the all high tone. And then he gets out on that field, and he's just it's a heck of a football player. 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Dooley straight drop back, looking a deal, looking for the end zone. Rainbows the left side, broken up by Bill Sorensen. Beautiful defensive play at the 1-yard line. They just ran out of real estate. That ball got there just in time, and Sorensen broke it up. Good play by Bill Sorensen, free safety for the Mustangs.
Defense, as we mentioned, always gets tough when they get close to their own end zone, and this is time they have to. They don't want to give up any points. They want the shutout, and they've got one more down to force them to do something.
3rd and 8. The ball's at the Mustang 18-yard line. Mustang defense want to hold them here. Someone brings in the play for the Eagles, and they run it up to the line quickly. Looks like they're taking a lot of time with this one. Quick snap, straight drop back for Dooley. He has some time. Pressure's on. Terry Shaw, an ankle sack. Grabbed him by the ankle and just ripped him down like that. That's a good defensive play right there. Dooley was running low on time. Someone was a little bit late bringing a play in, and he got his troops up to the line in a hurry, ran them up to the line, and got the play off real quick. And I think when you use a quick count like that, you have to speed everything up, and you're going to leave someone free on that defensive line. Terry Shaw was the one there, and that's not really the guy you want to have come through untouched, and he'll make you pay for it. He did. He dropped him for a loss of about 7 on the play. It's going to be 4th and 12 for the Eagles, backed up to the Mustang 22-yard line. Eagles call a timeout.
Eagles definitely have to find something to work here. This could be their last shot down at this part of the end zone. The Mustangs have only allowed them past their 30 twice, I believe, today, and they've just been tough. And if they don't get a score here, Leyden's really going to be hurting.
Pretty sure that's what the Mustangs are thinking. Let's make them come up empty-handed with this. I mean, they got a pretty good drive here. They got a break with that big
penalty.
That penalty, 15 yards. They've been just chipping away, and they get it like that. Mustang defense have done a lot of good things, and they're pretty much holding them. But it'd be good to have them come up empty with this.
This is a big play for Leyden. This will make or break their day. If they don't get anything here, they may not get the second chance to come back and do it again.
I'm sure that's what Coach Belskis, the defensive coordinator for the Mustangs, is telling his troops. No field goal, nothing. Let's just play the game the way we wanted to play it, the way we have been playing it, and we have no problem here. 4th and 12 for the Eagles from the Mustang 22. Receiver split on the left side out of the wishbone. Dooley straight drop back and looking to deal. Terry Shaw once again, another sack. 2 back-to-back sacks, and this one was more devastating. The last one was an ankle tackle, and this one, he just wrapped him up. Beautiful play by Terry Shaw. He's like trying to block smoke, isn't he?
He's quick. The defense did it again. The offense has the ball, and I think that about wrapped this game up, even though there's 9:31 remaining. That looks good for the Mustangs.
This is what you want to do. This is the kind of present you want to give to your quarterback. You get a couple sacks, you knock them back, good defensive plays, you're beating up on these guys. Shane comes in and gets the ball at his own 27-yard line, 1st and 10. He's got 9 minutes left to go. And see what he can do with it. Holland goes in motion right to left. Dawson in. Pitch goes to Sorensen. Sorensen sets up to pass. He's going down to Dawson, wide open. Oh, in and out of his hands. Pass was just a little bit over his head, and Dawson broke it past the 40-yard line. Ball got there when he was just about at the Eagle 35-yard line. In and out of his hands. Sorensen can throw that ball.
I was just thinking that now with the lead, 12-0, time running out, you might see some of the trick plays the Mustangs have just to see if they work. They might need these later in the year, and it's a good time to see if they can do anything with them.
That was a heck of a spiral, wasn't it?
Considering he had to dodge a couple people to get that off, he threw that great.
Yeah, the fullback that was in there, Frank Fulgo, threw a nice block for Sorensen and bought him a little bit of time. 9 minutes and 6 seconds, the clock is stopped. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs, ball on their own 27. Kreifel brings up to line. Hojian on the left side, the flanker. Double tight end, Yenerick and Alwyn. Out of the I formation, Fulco and Thigpen, the tailback. Give goes to Tony Hojian on the reverse, eludes one tackler, cuts upfield against the grain, and breaks another on the right side. Gets out to the 29-yard line. There's a flag down on the play.
He was one tackler away of breaking that for a big game for the Mustangs.
Personal foul holding against Downer South.
It's going to be holding against the Mustangs. They're going to march him back. Substitution on the part of the Mustangs, bringing Scott Dawson, the extra receiver, and take out Scott Yenerick, who was a tight end on the play. Hojian was wrapped up on the right side by number 33, John Webb, who's a strong side cornerback. Mustangs are going to be backed up to their own 15-yard line, and they're going to be working from there.
Second down and 10 for Downer South.
Second down situation for the Mustangs out of the shotgun. Fulco and Thigpen into block. Shane Kreifel has lots of time. He's looking for his tight end, Doug Owen. That's the first time he called his number. And the coverage went to number 55. Pass broken up. Jim Moroska Good coverage on that play. Pass was just a little bit behind on when he had to dive for it, but tried to make an adjustment and couldn't do it. It's going to be 3rd and 23 for the Mustangs. Passing down, be interesting to see what the Mustangs call on this one.
Tyrone Brown runs in, and he hasn't had a lot of passes thrown his way, so we might see a pass go Tyrone's way right now.
I'd like to see Tyrone break one. I mean, when he gets that ball, he's a nifty runner. He can do a lot with that ball once he gets it. It's just a question of getting the ball to him. Out of the I formation, Ken Holland on the right side. Brown and Dawson on the left. Thigpen goes in motion right. Pursuit is on Kreifel, and he's going to be forced to eat it.
Quarterback sack by...
Credit the sack to number 77, Chris Scott.
Chris Scott.
This will force the Mustangs into a punting situation, and Sorensen will be well back in the Mustang end zone. They need to get a good snap off here, otherwise it could be a safety.
It's going to have to be good blocking, too, because Sorensen is at the back of the end zone, and he could even move back about 4 yards if he had a better field position. High snap, Sorensen gets it under control and gets it away, taken it at the 40 from number 21, Webb, and he's going to go out of bounds. Stop the clock. Sorensen did a good job of getting a hold of that one. You know that? I mean, it was a high snap. When you're back in your end zone, you're thinking panic. And
it was a great play on Sorensen's part.
First and 10 for Leyden.
The pressure was coming on from the right side of the line. The Eagles were putting on a little bit there, but
he grabbed that with one hand.
Sorensen got it away. He's a good athlete. 8 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. Bill Sorensen and the rest of the Mustang defense are standing at their own 40-yard line. Ball is put at the Mustang 42. Bill Dooley and company working from there. Eagles bring it up to the line. Double tight end out of the wishbone once again. Walsh, Ziegler, Webb are the tailbacks. Give goes to number 21 in the option runner on the left side. Tony Hojian is there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Tackled by 21. Tony Hojian for the Mustangs.
And that's what Tony Hojian will do to you, working on that corner spot. You get the ball and you're coming around, you're going to have to pay when you get it, as we see number 21, Paul Ziegler, limp away from the line. That's the kind of stuff he'll do to you. 7 for the Eagles. Dooley brings it up to the line. Sends her flanker, splits to the right side out of the wishbone once again. The option play to the left side. Dooley keeps it, cuts back against the grain, and he's going to be reduced to the size of a helmet by Rich Niersbach. It looked like he squoze his whole body into that helmet there.
Both of us haven't seen this team for a while, and it looks like they've grown up and put things together. They're playing a whole lot better than they did at the beginning of the year, and it's showing. And I think they're going to win the conference and do real well in this year's state playoff.
7 minutes, 3 seconds. We're winding down at Mustang Stadium. 4th quarter of play. 3rd and 6 for the Eagles at the Mustang 38. Dooley straight drop back, looking to deal, trying to fire to his flanker. Flanker fell down, was covered by Sorensen and Hojian.
Incomplete.
That's the key. If the Mustangs just force them to pass, it's a benefit to them because they just don't look like they know what they're doing when they have to throw.
I mean, that's a tough situation for Dooley and the rest of these Eagles to be in. You can't run on this Mustang team. They showed that. You can't really pass on them. They got good coverage, and they got a great defensive line that'll come in there and hurt you. So punting from midfield is going to be number 31 for the Eagles. That's Walsh. Back deep for the Mustangs, Sorensen and Hojian. Sorensen's going to let it bounce. They're going to down the ball inside the 15-yard line of the Mustangs. But down there on special teams was number 10, Mike Gianmercy, to down the ball. So Shane Kreifel and company are going to be working from there. 6:46 left to go in the ball game. Mustangs on top 12-0, and they're going to be working from their own 15-yard line. There's a flag down on the play. Can't tell if it's a flag or a shoe, but evidently it's a flag. Seems to be against the Eagles. Holding against the Eagles.
Holding against Leyden.
So they're going to have to punt it again, it seems.
So Leyden will re-kick it.
Kicking the ball from 5 yards back will be number 21. Excuse me, number 31, Walsh. Back for the Mustangs, Hojian and Sorensen. 6:39 and winding down. And the Mustangs are going to get the ball. with any return, it'll be great field position. Mustangs putting the pressure on, and Walsh just gets away. Hosian's going to let it bounce. They're going to down it in just about the same place, so not too much change. It's going to be put at the Mustang 13-yard line. They're going to call it the 14-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from there. Rifle brings it up. Rifle's really moving that offense well, isn't he? I mean, he goes out there and he's established it upstairs with the pass. I mean, he said to their corners, I'm going to be picking on you all day today, and that's what he's been doing, and effectively, too. Rifle brings it up to the line. Fulco in, Thigpen the tailback, double tight end, and Holland is a flanker on the right side. Give goes to Fulco running off left tackle. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage, no gain there. Tackle went to number 70, Jeff Monroe, and number 77, Chris Scott.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 for Downer South.
They're going to give Fulco a yard. 2nd and 9, working from the 15-yard line. Kreifel brings it up to line. Eyes over the defense, ducks in under the centers. Receivers draped to the right and left side out of the I formation. Fulco and Thigpen. Give goes to Thigpen running behind Fulco, stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and nothing doing there. No gain.
Number 77, Chris Scott for Leyden.
Number 77, Chris Scott and Jeff Monroe, the defensive captain, were there to stop him again. And that was a punishing tackle. They made him pay for that one. Not too much up and down the line for the Mustangs as far as running. We only seen him, I think, run maybe 1 or 2 sweeps where they try and air it out to each side. And mostly they've been just going through the air to the receivers. 3rd and 7, passing down. We'll see what the Mustangs do. Double tight end. Quick snap, and it goes to Thigpen running behind Fulco, and he has some room this time.
Looks like the Mustangs will win this game, and next week they do play Downers North on a Friday night, and it's going to be just the opposite of what they had to prepare for today. The Downers North Trojans go a lot with the pass. They have a great quarterback in Brian Pindar and a good receiver in Matt Carnes, and they had to prepare for the run today. And this upcoming week they're going to have to work on their pass coverage because North has a great offense.
Official timeout.
Thigpen's going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and 2, balls at the 23-24-yard line.
The officials don't really look like they know what they're doing today at all.
They stopped the play, and they're going to bring out the chains now. Okay. You know, in the sophomore game, an interesting thing happened. Mustangs had the ball, and they were on offense. They had the ball, and it was a running play. I think it was just like a dive play or something like that. Went right up the middle. They fumbled the ball, and an Eagle picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. Now the only problem was that the official on the right side of the field blew his whistle, so the play was dead. So that's just a mistake, and ever since then it's just been kind of shaky for the men in the stripes. Sorensen's going to be punted from his own 10-yard line. The pressure's on, and he gets off a beautiful kick. End over end taken by Walsh at the 30, and he's down. It's all over. He touched his knee to the ground.
Will Sorensen's kick is down at the...
No rain. The field's not wet. He just slipped. 32-yard line of the Eagles. Bill Dooley's going to be working from there, and Dooley's had a rough day so far.
Leyden just doesn't look like they're together. Otherwise, the Mustangs are just playing great, but Leyden doesn't look like they're ready today.
By Bill Sorensen.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. 4 minutes, 18, 17, 16 left to go in the ballgame. Mustangs on top 12-0, and this might put them in the driver's seat of the gold division. Receivers draped on each side out of the I formation. Shotgun. Complete pass over the middle, number 31, Walsh, and he's going to pay for it. Kip Henley and Mike Dadich make him eat it.
A new quarterback in there for Leyden, number 9.
Gain of about 7 on the play. Let's take a look at some of these substitutions. Chris Hemiluski, substitution quarterback, comes in 6'4", 160. He's a junior this year. One back. They got the lone setback.
Left-hander.
He's a good passer.
Out of the shotgun, he fires down the middle, finds number 31, Kevin Webb. He's ripped down by Rich Niersbach across the middle. They're going to move the chains for a 1st down. Bringing up to the line is Hemiluski. One back in the backfield. Receivers deployed on each side, 2 on each side.
Mustangs call a timeout.
Down south.
This is an alignment they didn't have to contend with. I mean, throughout this whole game, out of the wishbone, everyone's in tight. All of a sudden, they have one back, and they're running out of the shotgun, and receivers are draped on each side. It's like, what are you doing here? This is crazy. So
This kid looks like he can pass. It's something that Dooley didn't look like he was real sure of, but this kid looks like he can throw the ball.
You know, it seems like all the teams the Mustangs play are really true to form. If they have a good running game, I mean, they do what they're known to do, and the Mustangs can deal with that. Now, the Mustangs, they're really not like that. You can't put that label on them. Maybe it's because they haven't established a really consistent, awesome running game or passing game. They just mix it up and chip away at you, and if they catch you off guard, they'll come off with a victory. Today was a little bit more decisive than that, I'd have to say. 12-0 on the clock stop at 3:38. The Eagles are trying to put a drive together. They got 3.5 minutes to get 2 touchdowns. Doesn't look too good for Chris Hemiluski, who's a junior this year, comes in at the quarterback spot. So he's not coming into a very favorable working condition, but we'll see what he can do with it. It's the only way you're going to get experience. Can't really get it on the practice field. Hemiluski brings it up to line out of the shotgun. The lone setback is number 24, Joe Harris. Receivers draped on each side. On the reverse play, give goes to number 31, Walsh, runner on the left side. Finds the corner, and Bob Furneaux is going to meet him and escort him to the chalk barriers on the right side.
Looks like the team's ready to move now with him at the controls. It's a different look, and Leyden's throwing something at the Mustangs they haven't seen for a while. It's a shotgun formation.
Eagles break into Mustang territory as Furneaux escorts him out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Looking downfield is Hemiluski. He's trying to go to Walsh again. Mustangs coverage men were all over it, and there was no one to go. Kip Henley and Rich Niersbach were the ones that were there. I believe Henley got a hand on the ball and broke it up.
And Bill Dooley, the Leyden quarterback's now playing as a receiver.
Kind of an interesting change if you think about it. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. 3rd and 4 from the Eagles. They're just past midfield into Mustang territory. Got a long way to go, but it looks like they got an arm in this Hemiluski kid at the 47. Hemiluski out of the shotgun once again. The pressure's on. He's going to take it himself and move up out of the pocket, and Rich Niersbach is going to put a heavy hat on him. Escort him to the chalk barriers on the right side. Also in there was number 82, Dan Leach, and Niersbach can hit you. I mean, you got to go check your driver's license just to remember who you are after he hits you. I mean, seen him knock off 2 helmets against the Hilltoppers, and he can hit. 2 minutes and 43 seconds winding down in the ball game. 12-0 Mustangs on top. 4th and 2 from the 44. On the reverse goes to Walsh on the right side. He gets the first down where Dadich chases him out of bounds.
Leyden's got to be wondering where this offense was. They're moving right down the field on the Mustangs.
Hey, this is something they might think about. Why don't they always use the 2-minute offense? They seem to be moving with it.
They look good running it.
2.5 minutes. 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 39-yard line. Just firing at will at this Mustang squad and making some gains out of it. Receivers draped on each side. The one setback is Walsh. Hemiluski out of the shotgun, looks to fire the left side. Picked off by Mike Dadich. It's all over. He cuts back on the right side. There's a flag down on the play. He's wrapped up there. Dadich is still up. He's still going. He fumbles the ball. Ball is still loose, and Bob Furneaux jumps on it. Back at the Mustang 15-yard line, there's a flag down where the interception occurred, and there's an injured Eagle. It looks like number 1, Chuck Fredrickson. You know, on plays like that, it could be any number of penalties. It's just a crazy play. Dadich ran about 100 yards with that ball, didn't he? Ended up back farther than he was originally. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with the ball on their, depending on where they put the ball after that craziness, unpile the bodies. Flag is going to go down against the Mustangs, so the Mustangs are going to work from their own 8-yard line. It was a tripping penalty against the Mustangs. When something like that happens, you just want to see your man go downfield. You'll do anything for it. And tripping is one of those things. Kreifel brings it up the line. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in this ballgame. Mustangs in control of the West Suburban Conference Gold Division on top 12-0. Working from the 8. Kreifel eyes over the defense. Thigpen and Fulco are in the backfield. Pitch goes to Thigpen, runner on the right side, breaks it out to the outside, and he's still on his feet, just shy of the 15-yard line.
Tackled by number 11, Bill Dooley for Leyden.
Thigpen picked up about 8 on the play. They're going to call it 2nd and 3. Ball is going to be put at the 14-yard line. Ken Holland checks out for the Mustangs. And in comes Tyrone Brown on the right side, double tight end out of the I formation, Fulco and Thigpen. Coach McDonald is signaling to the plays to the Mustangs as they are up there. 1 minute and 30 seconds and winding down. Kreifel from the 14, give goes to Thigpen on the right side. Gets a good block from Fulco and breaks it into the backfield. Right over the middle where he's ripped down by the linebacker, number 50. 51, Trent Swartz. And Thigpen's going to pick up a first down for the Mustangs. Gain of about 6 on the play.
For the Mustangs, ball on their own 24-yard line.
Mustangs get the ball out to their 24 now.
Now it's just a matter of running the clock down to finish this game off. And Leyden will call a timeout to stop the clock. Well, the Mustangs, they have 3 games remaining. 2 of them are a conference game. The other one's a non-conference game. Willowbrook and Morton are the conference games. And it looks like they're in the driver's seat, and they should have a good job and a good deal of success winning the gold division.
You know, the Eagles were favored by 1 over the Mustangs. And as I said, traditionally, these teams do not score a lot of points against each other. People were saying it would go either way, and the Eagles were just favored by 1 because they had a better record at the time. But Mustangs showed those people up 12-0 at just about the end of 4 quarters of play. Mustangs are in this one, played good defensively and offensively. I think they established some things that they didn't really have before. One of them is Shane Kreifel and Scott Dawson. You never really saw that connection. You saw Ken Holland, and they put Tony Hojan in a lot more. The games we've seen, maybe we've seen him once or twice, but he began to be a familiar face in that Mustang offense.
They threw a couple different options at us, and it looks like the Mustangs have put together a team that's strong and looks like they'll do well in the state finals this year.
Minute and 13 left to go in the ball game. Mustangs on top, as we said, 12-0. Working from their own 24-yard line. They're in control of this one. It's just a question of keeping the ball in their possession. 1st and 10, Kreifel brings up to line, gets the play from Coach McDonald there. Double tight end, Holland on the right side. Fulco and Thigpen is the tailback in the tandem. Give goes to Fulco running right off the right tackle, and he has some room, and he powers his way. He's still going, bowls his way past the 33-yard line. They blew an early whistle there.
Gives the ball to the other guy. Penalty. It's against us. That's against us. He gave the ball to the other team.
There's a flag down on the play.
He went like this and stuck it in his chest. 2 shots.
Fulco looked like a bulldozer on that one. No one could stop him. If they didn't blow that whistle, he might have kept going. Frank is so valuable in that offense, you know that? I mean, he's complimentary to everyone that's behind him. Last year, Dan Logerato was behind him and Reggie Thigpen. We've seen he's great on pass blocking, and he can run with the ball.
He's a good blocker. He can run with it, but he's a good blocker, and that's what his best asset is to the team.
He also gets into the ball games, you could say. He picks up a unsportsmanlike conduct foul, but I suppose he earned it. You know, if he ever earned one, I suppose he did.
He got hit earlier in the game, late hit, someone punched him, so now he's just getting back at it.
Yeah, it's just... Kreifel brings it up to line, 2nd and 17 from their own 17. Tyrone Brown, the flanker on the right side out of the I formation. Give goes to Fulco once again. Tees off against the defensive line and